All right, tonight we're going to be making grilled pork chops with lemon-dill green bean and tomato salad. The recipe, if you're looking for it in the Mealime app, it's actually grilled paprika lamb chops, but I don't know where to get lamb chops, so we just use pork chops. So I'm going to begin by preparing my green beans and getting them into the steamer. The recipe just says to boil them, but it's really important to me to have tender green beans, so I'm going to steam them just to make sure I get them nice and tender. Lost my knife. Here we are. So my water's already boiling. I'm a little behind. I'll catch up. This might have been picked a little bit late, so probably a good thing they're running steamed. They're slightly tough to begin with. Not too terrible. You can see the smaller ones do snap nice. Just some of the bigger ones are a little bit not great, but good enough. Will be perfect once they're steamed. You can use canned green beans and they'll get tender a lot easier. Probably already tender. Don't have to go with fresh if it's easier to use the canned ones. But these were available at our local Aldi's, so and they looked good, so that's actually why I decided to cook this today. Drop this in the steamer. I'll check those after 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to start cooking our pork chops. It gives amounts, but I never measure with seasoning. I just sort of go with my taste. And you can measure if that helps while you're learning, but you'll probably eventually just go with your taste as well. Meat is always helped by salt, in my opinion. I've got salt and pepper and paprika. If I'm using a new seasoning, I always like to smell it, kind of decide how strong I want it before I put it on there. Annabelle! Naughty cow on the table. check on these and make sure they're not running out of water. Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever used this steamer before. I forget that these pans draw water out of the vegetables, so you always end up with more water than what you started with and expected to see. There's a lot of water in there. I'm going to go ahead and stick a fork in these and see how they're feeling. Wow, I'm impressed. Try biting one. That feels... Let's see, how much time have they been steaming for? Oh, my timer must have gone off and I didn't hear it. Oh, perfect. Wow. Steaming's the way to go. That is delicious and tender. Still has a good snap to it. It's not squishy, but it is wonderfully tender. And this is going to be a salad, so you want to cool these down. Also keeps them from continuing to cook. So that you don't get squishy beans after you already turned off your heat. I am very happy with how that steamer works. I actually got this set of pans for free when I was working at Amway and I was across the street from their kitchen lab. They cleaned house and gave away a whole bunch of stuff. And I got probably $1,000 worth of pans for free just because I happened to be there. This is Amway Queens cookware. Very nice. Much nicer than anything I've ever paid for. So, next, I'm going to turn those pork chops and see how they're looking. Oh. Hiding everything from myself because I didn't put the dishes away. Coming along. All right, now add a little salt to the beans since I didn't boil them in salt water. Also, what I'm going to do, there's supposed to be a shallot in the salad, but shallot tastes like onion, and raw onion is not always popular, so I would just go ahead and lightly cook that to take some of that onion flavor down a bit before I put it in the salad. As a sort of compromise between those who love onion and those who don't like it so much. So I'll go ahead and dice this up and have it ready to cook when the pork chops are done. It's supposed to be half a shallot, but the shallot's really small, so I'm using the whole one. That aside and start cutting up my tomatoes. Hopefully hopefully you can still see. And sometimes if the vegetables come in larger packages than what my recipes call for, I'll just make a larger batch and then use the rest as a snack the next day or something, rather than leave it in the refrigerator and waste it. All right, I need to zest this and juice it. So I think it's supposed to be a half lemon. Yeah. But it's supposed to be less green beans and tomatoes than what I put in there too. So I'm going to use the whole lemon. Probably have some of this for lunch tomorrow, because we'll definitely have some leftovers. Don't want to get a lot of the white part of the lemon peel, but you definitely want to get all that yellow. So I washed all my vegetables before I turned on the camera, so this is clean, and I'm just going to put it right in there. And then juice the lemon. I'm going to use my juicer this time because there's already a lot of stuff in there. If I drop a seed in there, it's going to get lost. I don't want lemon seeds in the salad. This is the simplest and most useful citrus juicer, in my opinion. If you're looking for one, find one that's nice and sturdy. And that's really the most important thing. This is a big lemon. It doesn't even want to get in there. Just kind of turn it and work it. I think I'm going to cheat and squeeze with my hand and just use this to make sure I don't drop any seeds. This lemon is huge. Oops. do this. There, that's better. Don't have to do this too perfectly, but you want to make sure all the thick stems are out because those are going to be tough. And this is fresh dill. Don't remember if I said that already or not. It says to use half a small bunch, but the bunches that I found in Michigan were about twice the size of what you see here. So I considered this, which is actually 2 packages, to be half of a bunch. It's really just to your taste. So if you love dill, use more. If it's not your favorite, use less or put something else in there if you like. All right, I better check on those pork chops. And might be done. Check the temperature. Now, with pork chops, overcooking them makes them extremely tough and chewy. So you want to make sure you get that meat thermometer deep into that meat so it's covered and gets a good accurate reading. I used to think I didn't like pork chops because I wasn't using my meat thermometer correctly, and by the time I took them off the heat, they were quite tough. So, pork chops need to get to an internal temperature of 145, and then they need to rest for 3 minutes, same as beef steak. Yep, that's good. So I'll put them on a plate and then cover them with another plate and let them sit while I finish the salad. And we're almost done. Just gotta finish this dill and then add the rest of our seasonings. We'll be finished. Oh, I forgot to cook these onions. Turn that pan back on. And put this in there. I'll just cook them until they're getting translucent, and then I'll know that most of their heat's gone and a lot of their strong onion flavor is gone. It'll be a lot milder. A little bit of onion flavor left, but won't give anyone onion breath. Love this smell. It's got this. It smells delicious, but it also has childhood associations with harvest time and pickling. That just makes it that much better. That goes right in the salad. Onions are looking just about right. Onions. Shallot. Keep calling it onion. It's pretty much the same thing. I'll just scoop that out. Throw it in here. I need some mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard, some oil, salt, and pepper. This is a tablespoon, but I've got twice as much salad as the recipe calls for, and we always put extra of everything. So all the sauces and dressings get probably doubled here. Some Dijon. It says 2 teaspoons, but I like mustard as well, so I'm going to put some extra in there. And then the oil. I'm going to use my flavored oil because this is salad and that always makes it better. This is a half a teaspoon. Definitely putting more than that in there. We'll go about there. That's good. I did already add a little bit of salt, but I think I'll add a little bit more. And some pepper. Good amount, but not so much that anybody's biting down on it. Bit of peppercorn and getting a little surprised. Find something to serve it with. Just get this all nicely coated. That looks amazing. Smells amazing too. All right. Our pork chops have been resting for at least 3 minutes, so we're ready to plate. I will fill the plate and show you how good this looks. Not even sure I'll have leftovers for tomorrow. Might be too good to save any. There you go. Pork chop, green bean and tomato salad. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.